Hey, what's up? I'm Paul Gray, and I play for Slipknot. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Let's see here. I started playing guitar first. I wasn't a bass player at first. I played guitar. I started playing when I was like 12, I believe 12, 13 years old. I have an older brother, Jay. He, was always into music. He was a big music guy. Always cranking out like Black Sabbath and Leonard Skinner and Zeppelin and the Doors and the Stones and the Beatles and bands like that, Alice Cooper. And Kiss. I was a really big Kiss fan. I used to dress up like Gene Simmons or Ace Frehley, depending on what year, every year. But I was always into music. I was in 6th grade. I got the first Suicidal Tendencies record. After that, I was really wanting to play, and I actually had a friend who had a guitar. Then, I got to noodle around on it, but it was right-handed, and I was always left-handed, and I was I never knew what I was doing. No one ever showed me, so I would just kind of noodle around upside down. And then, I went and I saw Slayer on the Hella Waits album, and that changed my world. I was like, I gotta get a real guitar and actually do it. Seeing them up there at the red lights and the smoke, and just it was all evil, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I begged my mom for a guitar, and she finally got me one. It was an actually badass guitar. It was a Gibson Flying V. It was left-handed. It ruled. I never took lessons or anything. I was always self-taught, just listening to albums and just trying to figure stuff off of that. That guitar, I had that thing for a while, and I ended up I moved around a lot when I was a kid. It was between Los Angeles. I was born out here in Los Angeles. I moved out to the desert for a while, and was hanging out with some friends. And I didn't live with my family anymore. I kind of did my own thing, and so I ended up having to leave my guitar with one of my so-called friends, and he ended up trading my left-handed Gibson Flying V for an 8-ball of Speed. So that went that. But it took me a while, but I ended up getting another one and noodled around, played, and just kept jamming. I had an apartment. My first apartment when I was 16. And me and my friend Frank, man, we would noodle around playing all the time, and my other friend Chris, and we kind of we started our own little band called Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, which was I don't know, we would jam, do Danzig songs and stuff like that in our living room. I was 16 years old. Actually, by this time I was 17. I was sick of, having to struggle every month, on my own. And I called my mom up, and she had moved to Iowa. And so I asked her if I could come and sleep on the couch out there. So I moved to Iowa, and that's where I met the guys who eventually would become Slipknot. Well, a funny story how I got to playing bass is I played guitar when I moved to Iowa, and I didn't have any friends, didn't know anybody. I went up to the local music store that was right around my house, and I went in and I started talking to those guys, and I overheard this guy talking about needing a bass player for their band, and they did covers and stuff like that. But the bands that they said they covered, they did Slayer and Metallica songs, stuff like that, and so not knowing anybody and just wanting to meet people, I told them I could play bass, even though I never played a bass in my life, and I didn't own a bass, and I had no money to buy a bass, but I told them I could play bass, and that I'd come and rehearse with them. And one of my brother's friends had a weird right-handed bass, which I strung left-handed, and used this little practice amp, and I went down there and I played with them, and I didn't actually know any of the bass lines or anything like that, but I knew all the guitar parts, so I just faked it and played all the guitar parts. So that's how I got to playing bass. They thought it was cool, and I got in there and got comfortable and kind of took that band over and kicked a bunch of people out. And the guy actually I met was the original lead singer for Slipknot down there, and he played drums at that time. Yeah, me and him became friends, and we had gone through a couple of different bands at that time. That first band broke up, and we started another band, a death metal band called Body Pit, where actually some of the riffs from Surfacing came from. We did that, and that's where we would do shows together, and that's where I met like Joey and Sean, and Jim. Jim actually had the big ass, kick ass band in Des Moines, Atomic Opera. They were like a full on, like kind of Flotsam and Jetsam kind of band, but they were badass. And then Joey had another band called Modifidius. Sean had a band called Heads on the Wall, and and I had this band Body Pit. And we would do shows together, and that's how we all met, and we kind of became friends, man. And just jamming at different shows. We'd be the only bands there, and a few kids that would show up for the all ages shows on Sundays at the runway before it burned down. And so we just jammed, did shows, became friends. And later on, when all those other bands broke up, I talked to Sean and Andy, and we decided we'd start a new band. Because Sean and Andy were both drummers, they wanted to do something with a lot of drums and percussion. And when we first started, Sean actually played the kit, the sit-down kit, and Andy played percussion. Sean kind of wanted to move to percussion and do more of a different thing. So, I'd always been friends with Joey, so we decided to give Joey a call. Joey came out and he heard the stuff and he just loved it, man. And so he was in, and that was kind of like the start of Slipknot. We had a old guitar player, Josh, who was in that first band that I joined. We got Mick in there. I tried a couple other different people and different lineup arrangements, but we ended up getting Mick and we ended up getting Corey after we did a first demo, and with our old singer. And we'd always known Corey from his other bands, and he was a pretty obnoxious dude, but he could really sing. We actually did a battle of the bands against them, and we won. We whooped their ass. But Corey, he has a great voice, and so we were demoing some new songs for a new demo, and we asked him to come out to sing. He sang on a couple of songs, and after that, we knew we had to have him in the band. So we had Andy, our original singer, who also played percussion. He kind of did for a show, kind of sang backup and play percussion, but he just, wasn't happy, I don't think being the lead singer anymore, so he left, and that was fine. We ended up getting Chris. We had 9 guys in the band, and we had one van that could get all our gear, and then we'd have to drive 2 cars everywhere we're going. It's kind of sucking. After playing, a lot of shows around the Midwest, we're doing regional shows, in Des Moines, Omaha, Lincoln, Kansas City, Chicago, Peoria. People started coming out and, paying attention. It's kind of a funny story. We had this girl that was managing us, helping us out. She was working at our local radio station, and she was asking who would we want to do the album or something like that, and we mentioned Ross Robinson to her, and she called up one of her friends who actually just happened to be Ross Robinson's manager, which he had no idea is John Reese. And she called up John Reese. She's like, how to get a hold of this Ross Robinson dude? And he's like, it's funny you ask, because I actually manage him. So, she sent out a CD, and Ross came out, and we had actually a few other label guys, I won't mention, come out too. But, we always felt a great vibe with Ross, so we went with Ross, man. And Roadrunner, Ross was doing his, he had an imprint through Roadrunner, so which was awesome, because we actually, it was kind of funny. I have a little funny story too. We were going to sign a deal with Sony, and we went and played one last show in Las Vegas, as an unsigned band, and we're going to go back to Des Moines and sign the contract. We're like, oh, we shouldn't sign it now. We should wait until we got home, and we'll do one last show as an unsigned band. So we went to Vegas, and there was somebody higher up who than the guy who gave us the contract. And he's like, man, if that's what music's going towards, like, I don't want them. And so they pulled the contract before we could get back and signed it. And yeah, on Monday we got back and it was gone. They're like, no, you can't sign it. So we ended up getting some other offers, but we went with Roadrunner and Ross Robinson and went and did the first album.
How's it going, Paul?
What is going on? That was the longest fucking horrible drive ever made.
How come you're so late for your own interview?
Oh, dude, I can't even explain it. My car is fucked up, and just took a long time to drive to Kansas City. And I got a late start. I woke up kind of late, so
You're copping to it.
yeah, you know. I wasn't expecting this right when it pulled up. Holy shit.
So, you know, what does Slipknot mean to you, Paul?
It's my life, you know. That's it. It's everything. It's everything to me. You know, I mean, without Slipknot, I'd be probably sleeping on someone's couch working at the old bar I used to work at.
You've been playing music since you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this what you kind of envisioned being a rock star would be like?
I never knew what being a rock star would be like. You know, I still don't know. I mean, I don't really consider myself a rock star, but obviously, I guess I am. I don't know, and I still do the same shit, man. I go to the same fucking bar, you know, hang out with the same fucking people. You know what I mean? So it really hasn't changed that much. You know, I mean, except for now I can afford drinks. I can buy a few people drinks instead of having to bum money every night.
Right. Do you feel like you're a different guy when you're out there on the road with Slipknot than when you're kicking back at home in Iowa?
I don't feel like a different guy. No, I mean, when I'm home, I'm lazy. When I'm on the road, I'm lazy, except for when we're playing. So, yeah, I'm pretty much the same dude. You know, I mean, fuck. I don't do shit. I really don't do shit. You know, I drink fucking beer and fucking sit around, you know, and play music. And that's what I've been doing this whole time off, too, you know. So it's kind of, yeah. I'm pretty much the same all the time.
What does Volume 3 mean in the grand scheme of the band, looking back on it?
It was the rebirth of Slipknot, you know what I mean? It was like us coming back together, pushing out that vibe that had gotten in there and kind of started pulling people away, you know, and realizing that, you know what, fucking it's, you know, fuck all these outside people, let's get back together. But we figured out that, you know, that we do have to get space, you know, we do need to let people be sometimes.
Was there ever a time where you felt like the band is about to break up?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, there's been times, where I thought, I don't know if it's going to happen, you know, and it was never anything. I mean, I've never ever wanted to quit the band or leave the band, so it's always been, you know, worried about other people, if they're going to leave or do some other things, and that's just, you know, whatever, instead of, you know, and we were still actually really solid, you know. I mean, I think it was just a lot of people just kind of, you know, tripping out about different little small shit, and when we actually talked and got together, realized that, you know, everything else wasn't that big of a deal. When it started out, it was just kind of a weird thing, you know. It started out with Sean, like he had that clown mask and he wore it at practice one day, and it just was fucking creepy, you know. Like the whole time he wouldn't take it off. We're like, dude, you're fucking, you know, you can't tell what he's looking, you know, what he's thinking, or like if he's smiling or what the fuck. It's just always like this fucking thing. It just freaked us out at practice. We're like, it's awesome, you know. We went on from there. And it was kind of cool too back in the, you know, like, 'cause back in the day you could do a show. We would do shows and we'd come back in without the mask. People wouldn't even know, you know, we're in the band.
Right.
Tell us if we sucked or not. You know, we'd get honest answers. You know, oh, that band fucking ruled, or that band was the worst band I've ever seen.
Right.
And then, you know, they would have no idea they were telling us that. You know, it's kind of cool.
Do you think that Slipknot could have come out of anywhere else, or do you think that there's a specific kind of Iowa, Des Moines vibe?
Yeah, it's definitely an Iowa thing. I know it is because of the, I mean that's where we got our work ethic, because fuck, no one wants to come, no A&R guy is going to come out here, you know. Fucking dude, it was impossible to get anybody to come see a fucking show. Even Chicago, they were bitching about it, you know, like, fuck, going to Chicago is a pain in the ass, you know. It's like, you know, fucking Des Moines, there was no chance, you know. It's like,
So we had to work and work and work, you know, and actually prove ourselves. So, and I think, you know, just the way people are brought up, I think you know, the people in the band, their values and just their moral, you know, their just moral structure fucking made what this band is, you know. And so, yeah, I don't think it would have worked in L.A. or New York or wherever the fucking Seattle or London or fucking wherever the fuck bands come from.
Right.
You know, Iowa. That's it. I can only speak for myself, but I mean, to me, it's just the greatest thing that ever happened in my life. And you know, so there's no, you know, when we started the band, I felt it, you know, right when we started it, and it still feels the same. So you know, I mean, I'm having time of my life.
And you feel like the band has pretty much stayed true to the original idea, original concept, and what you guys are trying to get across?
Yeah, you know, and I mean, naturally we evolve too, you know, I mean, as a band, you're always going to evolve. But yeah, I mean, we've always stayed true. I mean, and by staying true is we've always done what we wanted to do, you know, and that's staying true. Just, you know, I don't know, you know, people might think, oh, this or that or whatever, you know, like, you know, if we do something different, if we, you know, write a song with some melody, or if we, you know, fucking, I don't know, do something different with Mass or not Mass or whatever, you know, people are saying we're not staying true, but actually we are, because it's fucking what we want to do.
Right.
And that's, you know, how we started this band, doing what we want to do and fuck everybody else's opinion. So,
right, you're not
so it's staying true.
You're not catering to somebody else's ideas of what Slipknot should be.
It's only ours, you know, and, you know, everybody else can, you know, they like it or hate it. We don't give a flying fuck.
I love her. I love my wife.
I had a fucking crazy childhood, crazy growing up. You know, I mean, pretty fucked up childhood. I've been kind of like living on my own since I was 14, doing my own thing and everything. You know, living with friends, homeless. Had my first actual apartment when I was almost 17, like 16 and 9 months. I grew up a poor fucking, you know, we had no money, living in shitty fucking roach infested, you know, apartments my whole fucking life, you know. So, you know, the little bit of money she had was enough for a down payment on a house out here. Right. You know what I mean? And it was like our first actual house. And I got out here and met some people. I didn't know anybody for about 6 months, actually. I was down in a music store and met our original singer for Slipknot. Down there, they were talking about needing a bass player for a band, and I never played bass in my life, but I was like, I don't know anybody, so fuck it, I can play a bass. I'm like, here, yeah. I know how to play. I never even touched a fucking bass, really? But yeah, I never played bass before in my life. Fuck, it's Clown. I mean, have you ever seen a show? I mean, come on. It's Clown, you know, I mean, dude, he was one of the founding members of the band. I mean, his energy, his live show, dude, he's just a fucking talented, fucking awesome individual, you know, and he brings, I mean, sometimes he brings fucking, you know, shit to make people pissed off or whatever, or, you know, and are happy as fuck. I don't know, you know, it's all kinds of different things, you know. I mean, like, he's just a clown, man, and it's, you know, without him, there would be no Slipknot. Joey's fucking the best drummer in the fucking world, hands down, and fucking my best friend, you know, so there you go. But does Corey bring the band? I mean, he brings some of the fucking, you know, the fucking best vocals I've ever heard, and fucking some of the best lyrics I've ever fucking read, and, you know, just one of the greatest fucking human beings I've ever met, you know. Jim, fucking coolest dude, sweetest dude I know, you know. I mean, amazing guitar player, dude can fucking shred. Me and him both have a little OCD complex, so we get along really well on that. We used to have to share rooms back in the day when we were all like, you know, packed in and whatever, and it was always like me and Jim together because fucking that room would be spotless and fucking nice and organized. So yeah, Jim's awesome. I love Jim. Mick's awesome too. He's a fucking great guitar player. Fucking, and he's also, you know, I mean, I've known Mick for you know, longer than some of the guys in the band. You know, I've been, you know, in other bands with Mick, so, you know, me and Mick have come along, you know, been together for a long time. So, you know, he's like one of my one of my oldest bros. His fucking weird ass energy, man. He's got a weird energy, you know, and it's awesome. You know, it's like just the way he thinks about things and stuff. And Sid's, I mean, seeing Sid change over the years, like from when he first joined this band to where he is now, and like growing up, kind of, you know what I mean? He joined the band, he was a kid, you know, and
How old was he when he?
fuck, I think he was like 20 when he joined the band. 20, yeah, he had to be like 20, and or 21 actually, you know, and but 21, like going on 13, you know what I mean? It was awesome to see him actually fucking, you know, fucking just grow up into Sid, man. You know, it's badass. It's really cool. He's a smart guy too. Sid's a fucking really smart guy. A lot smarter than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Craig's my fucking drinking buddy, dude. Me and Craig will be at the bar later on tonight. So, yeah, and that's another thing. You know, it's like all these guys, I've known them forever because we've all been in bands, you know, like in different. I mean, everybody in this band has been in another band. We've all played together in different bands, you know, different shows, everything like that. So it's like, you know, it's like all these people I've known forever. It's like, I mean, like I said, they're in my family. So Craig, you know, he's like fucking Craig. He's the silent, fucking. He doesn't talk. He doesn't. Whatever, but we get, you know, we know what's up, you know, like I don't have to say a word to Craig, but I know what's up with Craig.
Right.
And so, you know, he doesn't have to say a word back, you know, or he just kind of just can sit there and drink our beer and we just know what's going on. Chris is bud. He's hilarious. Chris brings, I think, some the comedy to Chris is, yeah, you know, and Chris was like the, you know, the I guess kind of like, we put Chris through some hazing in the beginning, you know what I mean, and the way he stuck it out, and then we put Chris through a lot of hazing during touring too, not intentionally, but you know, he's just, man, he's a great guy, you know, he really is, and you know, I mean, he brings a lot of laughter to the band. He like lightens up the fucking whole thing. You know, 9 people together constantly, you know, you're gonna get friction. So he, you know, yeah, to break the ice sometimes, yeah, you definitely need that guy. Definitely need that guy, you know, and also he's just awesome, dude. You know, I mean, fuck. And every person in this band, I mean, they're all, you know, Element Live, dude. You can, you know, we couldn't have the band without. I mean, we've done shows without people, you know, obviously, like when people gotten hurt or, you know, Sean's had some family problems, you know, and stuff like that, and it's never the same. You know, it's like fucking does not feel like the band until everybody's there. So, you know, so as far as that goes, you know, everybody makes up this whole thing. You know, got each other's back and always have a shoulder for somebody to put their head on. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You know, it's like we're family. So, yeah, we do need each other. I don't see a day that I won't want to do this anymore, but I mean, eventually I know you know, this is going to end sometime. You know, fuck, I can't do it forever. And when it does, you know, I'm going to be proud of what we've done, you know, because it's amazing, you know. But I don't even think about that day, you know what I mean? It's not anything in my head right now. So, you know, I don't even want to fucking even go near that thought.
911.
Oh, yes, this is Mike with Soundplay Suite, 8000 North Park Drive in Johnston or Urbandale.
Okay.
I have a gentleman we believe has passed away.
Do what?
We believe this gentleman has passed away.
Okay. Is this a business or?
Yes, it's Soundplay Suite, Marriott. We believe it's drug overdose.
Okay, are you with him now?
Yes, I am.
What's your phone number?
Phone number is. His hands and legs are all purple.
And what room did you say?
Room 431.
431?
Mm-hmm.
Are you with him now?
Yes.
Do you know about how old he is? 50s, 60s, 70s?
Oh, no, probably mid-20s.
20s?
Mm-hmm. There's a hypodermic needle next to his bed here, so.
Okay, so he's not awake?
Oh, God, no. He's all
He's not breathing? Look like he's been there a while?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His mom called this morning. We've been trying to get a hold of him. No, he's been gone a while. And he's crunched over in the corner next to the wall.
Was he supposed to check out today or something?
I don't know. I just know his mom called and was unable to get a hold of them. So.
Okay. All right, they'll be on their way over there. Do you happen to know his name?
Looks like all the pills there that says Paul Gray. There's all kinds of pills everywhere. But yeah, it's Paul Gray.
Okay. Alrighty, I'll have the officer and the unit meet you over there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir.
Developing story right now. Just within the last few hours, we've confirmed that the bassist for the band Slipknot has died.
He was found dead in an Urbandale motel room. News Channel 8's Amanda Lewis has the details. Amanda.
Well, they've been circulating rumors all day about 38-year-old Paul Gray, and now we're learning that those rumors are true. Urbandale police say employees of the Town Place Suites at 8800 North Park Drive found Gray in a hotel room this morning. In this video, you can see them removing Gray's things from the hotel. Police say they found no evidence of foul play and that an autopsy and toxicology tests are scheduled to see if they can determine a cause of death. Slipknot fans have been monitoring the rumors all day. Harold Waits at Guitar Center in West Des Moines says he knew Gray. He says there are often rumors that a member of Slipknot has died, so he was hoping reports of Gray's death were untrue.
That's what's kind of crazy about the whole thing, you know. You always, like I said, you always hear about the rumors, you know, about Corey or Joey or Paul or somebody, but so it's kind of surreal, you know. Like I said, we just talked to him just the other day.
Waits also talked to us about how much Gray meant to the music scene in Iowa and what he was like as a person. We're going to have much more coming up tonight at 6, Steve.
Okay, Amanda, thank you very much. Now,
thank you all for taking the time and being here with us. We'll make a few brief statements. Yesterday we lost our brother. And the world seems a little smaller because of it. He had the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known. And he had the greatest soul I've ever had the privilege to know. He was everything that was wonderful about this band and about this group of people. The only way I can sum up Paul Gray is love. Everything he did for everyone around him, whether he knew you or not. And that's what he's left behind for us, is absolute love. I will miss him with every fiber of my heart, as will everybody at this table and everyone who knew him. He was the best of us. We miss you, Paul. We miss you very much.
There is really nothing more to say than it's very important that everybody on the outside of us understands that Paul Gray was the essence of the band Slipknot. And Paul was there from the very, very, very beginning. And none of us would be on the path that we're on right now in life, or have the sorts of lives that we have without him. And as Corey said, he really was the essence of Slipknot, and we would like to have him remembered that way. And we miss you, Paul, and we love you very much. And Paul loved the fans, and he was kind of the person in the band that really wanted everybody in the band to always get along and just concentrate on the band. So he was a really great friend and just a great person. So again, he's going to be sadly missed, and the world is going to be a different place without him.
I met this family through Paul. I didn't know it at the time, but my life changed the moment that I met him. And to me, that's the most important thing, that everyone he met, there was a change in their life, whether they knew it or not. And he was just, he was so good at giving everyone a different perspective, you know. And I love him for that. I'm going to miss him greatly, and I love him for everyone he introduced me to. And he'll be missed. I love you, Paul.
Yeah, he was just he was that guy you could just always, when you called him and he answered the phone, you know, it was just, you just felt good, man. Like, he always made you feel at ease, made you feel, you know, like you were just part of his family. And he'd, you know, if you needed somewhere to live, you know, you'd be living in his house without a doubt. I mean, he was just that kind of guy. And the one thing I'm going to miss the most, man, he gave the greatest hugs out of anybody I've ever hugged. You know, you hug a lot of people, but man, that dude, when he grabbed onto you, it was just, you could just feel him and the love that he had for you at that moment in time. And, you know, I learned a lot of things about becoming who I am too through him. You know, he had your back no matter what. And that's a quality that I'll always try and take with me through life. And you know, my thoughts and my prayers go out to Brenna and the rest of the Gray family. And that's it.
To Paul, my brother, and all my other brothers and my sister up here, we'll greatly miss you. And we'll get through it. He will be missed. And thank you to all the fans that made him who he was and made Slipknot what they are today. And he will be missed.
I'd just like to say that I miss my brother so much. This is very hard for me right now. I just want to say that I love you, Paul, very much. You'll be sorely missed by the world over. God bless you, and thank you for all the great times that we had together. I love you so much.
Paul is my husband. An amazing person, and I just want people to remember him for just that. And his daughter will remember him for the way he was. And I just thank everybody for being here. And thank you.
Thank you very much. That'll be it.
How you doing?
What's up, man? Corey.
Corey, Tim.
Tim,
Hey,
hey, man, how you doing? I'm Corey Taylor. I'm the lead singer for Slipknot.
What do you want to get today?
I want to get tribute piece to my bass player. I came here today to get a tattoo of my bass player, Paul Gray, who passed away last year.
Wow, that's a heavy photo.
Yeah, isn't that great? It's a picture with Paulie in his mask with his number.
What about the two? Where do you want to do this?
The two, I want to maybe bring down a little bit, so it's like, you know, it's like him and his number right there.
Yeah,
so
we can do that.
Yeah.
Where do you want to get this at?
I want to get it back here, like on my calf.
All right, man, I'm going to scan this in and then get it all ready for you.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Right on, yeah, no worries.
There's going to be a lot of emotions going into getting this tattoo today. The anniversary of his death is coming up in May, and I'm really stoked that Tim's going to do it for me.
It is an extremely detailed portrait. I have to muster up a lot of patience. There's a lot of sentiment in a person's face. And even with a mask on, that's a very important thing that I have to capture. I'm really gonna put forth my all and try to make this one of the best portraits I've ever done. Check it out, tell me what you think.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
It's cool?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Cool. All right.
This was friend and band member, right?
Yeah.
How did he die?
Died of heart failure.
You guys were pretty close?
Yeah. Paul was one of my best friends. He was a guy that I had known before I joined Slipknot, and we were together almost every day. He was just incredibly gifted. Probably one of the best musical minds I've ever heard. He was an inspiration to me. He wrote a majority of the music in the band, but he was never the one to try and take as much credit as he could. There's so many sides of him that nobody saw that I guess it just makes me grateful I got to be his friend, you know?
That's a good thing to say. A lot of people don't, they fail to mention that, you know, that they're just grateful they got to be a part of that person's life.
He was just an amazing guy, man. I miss him.
I've had a lot of friends pass away, you know, for many different reasons. People always say, oh, I'm gonna take you to get over it. I'm like, man, I never got over it.
Yeah.
It just got easier, and I just learned to live without them, you know?
That's really it at the end of the day. I mean, there's no
choice, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I'm ready for it to be done. Tim, did you meet my wife?
Hi, Tim.
How are you?
Very good to meet you. Oh, that looks great.
After a couple hours, I just turned into the world's biggest puss. I can't take it.
You don't have that much longer.
When he died, my wife was the one that really kind of kept me together. Whenever I'm broken, she's the one who fixes me.
Why don't you tell me the first thing that pops into your head that you remember about Paul?
I miss that laugh. I miss that so much. I didn't realize how much I was sitting on until, you know, it was almost over, and I lost it hard, and I just let it come. I miss him so much.
I know you do, honey. I know. But you know he's always with you.
I miss him so much.
I know you do.
I just wish he was here.
He is here. He's always with you. He's always here. Don't think about it. Don't think about it so much. Just think about me. I'm over here.
I think that his pain tolerance just ran out. Corey was running on empty for the last hour, and I was pushing the car. Give me 3 more minutes, man. Honestly, this is one of my favorite portraits that I've ever done. As far as quality of like how it's coming out, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes me feel any better. 2 more little things. We'll put a couple little white strands in his hair, and that's it. We're done.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. See?
All right, Corey, go ahead and check it out, man. Stand up nice and easy. Okay. Be kind to yourself.
Okay. I don't think anyone can be as kind to me as you've been, Tim.
I don't know how well you can see it, you know, but you see it.
It looks so good.
Pretty crazy, huh?
It's awesome. There's not a day goes by that I don't miss him. His life is still with me. I was honored to be able to make music with him. This is me paying tribute to my friend. Hopefully, somewhere he sees it and he realizes how much I miss him.
What was it like working with Paul Gray?
Yeah, just the dude. He was. I think I was closest to him and Joey, and just pure love. The dude was the genius. You know, he was the main riff writer, and that unique thing. Like, a riff would come out of him because he's left-handed. It was just something different and bizarre and like quirky. Like there was a quirk that was only unique to him. And oh my God, just so willing, the nicest dude I've ever met, sweet, heartfelt, loving. A couple weeks before he died, he called me up, and I was driving on Washington Boulevard by Taco Bell Thai, up in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm driving on, and I told him where I was for some reason. He goes, oh, my grandmother that raised me just died, and that's where she lived when I was a kid. I'm like, dude, she's right now telling you that she loves you. He's like, he started sobbing on the phone. He's like, yes. Because it's impossible for you to call and me not know and give you my location. And, oh my God, he was just like, oh. And then he goes, I'm having a baby.
Whoa.
I'm like, oh my God, you know, and that was our relationship. It was all about love and support, and I did an Instagram post about, you know, anyway, somebody asked, what story do you have that nobody knows? And his mom, I guess she was using, and single mom, and just dropped him off in Daggett, which is like 5 miles out of Barstow. And we were living so close together in the desert when I must have been in junior high or something, and he was like in elementary school, kid by himself, all alone in some like ratty desert house. I know right where it is. He showed it to me.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy, that area. My family, we had like a bar out in this town called Yermo, and it was Yermo and Daggett were like the same people, and it's all like hardcore, like hidden desert people, like welfare, and it's brutal out there and hot.
Sounds brutal.
Hot. It's the heat. Like he was just a little kid, like hungry. Some stranger, probably some dealer or something, and I'm just like, oh my God. When he told me that story, I think I gave him this big giant hug, and we were just desert brothers forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, God, I wish I would have known. I would have rescued you. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Just so real and so sweet. And then right after the baby announcement, he died.
Yeah, it happened right after, huh?
Mm.
It was so sad, man.
Yeah. And it's that thing, you know, the filter, confusion, fame, stuff happening for you, seemingly for you, and it's just like all of a sudden, you know, I heard this thing, like, if you look at your friends around you that you have right now, you're looking at your future.
Yeah.
And his future wasn't too pretty when they were on the road, you know?
Yeah.
They were rough people. And And that's not who he was.
Yeah.
You know, it's just addiction it's something else. But if you were never born, did you ever die? You know, and his essence is real and it's alive. You press play, it comes through, and he's completely there.
Yeah.
100%. Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's living, it's inspiring, it's loving, it's giving, it's creative, it's pulsing, it's got a heartbeat, it's beautiful, it's ugly, it's imperfect, it's perfect. Like all of it, all of it, all of it. And it'll drop you to your fucking knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. We captured it. All the way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. When they were at his funeral, I was like, they were done speaking and they started lowering his casket, and I started clapping and applause for how beautiful he was, and everybody started clapping too. I remember Clown turning around and looking at me like I was a fucking freak.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Wow.
The boy was beautiful. Yeah.
He seems like such a special guy, man.
Yeah, he's my brother.
One in a million, if not more.
More.
Yeah.
One in one.
One in one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
According to Redditor A. Simons81, who visited the grave of late Slipknot bassist Paul Gray, he located a drumstick which read the following: "Dear Paul, I hope you're proud of the music we've created. Your presence guides this band in spirit and sound. I think you'll dig the new record. At least I hope you do. All the respect and love in the world. We are not your kind. Long live the knot. Jay." This note hasn't specifically been confirmed by Jay, but someone would have to be a pretty terrible person to fake something like this.
Message to the fans, yeah. I mean, fuck. Thank you. You know, I mean, fuck. Our fans are the greatest fans in the fucking world, you know, and you know, I do anything for them. And actually, I think our fans know that I would, you know. I mean, I'd literally have given the shirt off my back, you know, for them. Because without them, you know, there would be none of this, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I mean, thank you. That's from the bottom of my heart, you know. That's the most I can give, you know, and you know, for all the support and everything, and you know, hope, you know, I mean, we promise we will try not to ever let them down, you know. Can't please everybody, but you know, we'll do what we can.